Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the Hopkinton High School turf fields. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Playoff Baseball here on HCAM. And today we have a Division II round of 32 matchup as the 14-6 fourth-seeded Hopkinton Hillers take on 29th-seeded 12-8 Marblehead. On the mound today for the Hopkinton Hillers is Charlie Simulus, and we are just about ready for the first pitch for the right to advance on to the Sweet 16. The Hillers did not have to play in the preliminary round. Marblehead did have to play, and they took down Somerville in the first round in a close one. 13-11 was the final score. Right now at the plate we have Riley Schmidt, the third baseman. Wind up and the pitch. There's a strike. Mike Whalen is the umpire behind the plate today, calling the balls and strikes. One of the best in the business. The 0-2. This is hit in the air, left side, and it is caught. A nice catch by Nick Pedroli for the out. He kind of had to make a little bit of a dive at that one, but able to knock it down. And that'll bring up the DH, Stephen Shepard. Tom Nappy, happy to be with you. John Ritz on camera. A cloudy evening for this playoff game, but no precipitation. We're hoping it stays that way as the first pitch is strike to the DH. Temperatures are very comfortable in the high 60s, low 70s. That's going to be trouble. That's going to get down into right field for a hit. And it's a one-out double for Shepard. A nice start there for Marblehead, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Shane Keogh. Well, the Hillers rolling with Charlie Simulus here in this opening game. He's been good on the mound all season. Also a huge asset with the bat. Set to deliver. That pitch slightly outside. 1-0. We have our nice outfield view going today. And that pitch down low. Looking in from behind the pitcher. 2-0 the count. Runner on second, a slight lead. And that pitch going to get away and allow Shepard to advance to third. So a wild pitch puts Shepard on third, 3-0 count. So some early struggles here for the Hillers. Set to deliver. And there's a strike. 3-1 the count. Charlie Simulus on the season has thrown 32 1/3 of an inning. No wins, no losses. Has struck out 34, 3.89 ERA. As this is up the middle, glove by Carrazza, throw to first. And they'll get the out, but a run scores, so a job well done there by Keogh. A sacrifice RBI 4-3 ground out, and it's 1-0 Marblehead. And now coming up to the plate for Marblehead is Charlie Sachs, the right fielder. Wind up and the pitch. Little outside there. 1-0 count. Set to deliver. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch there. A lot of movement. We'll get you the Hillers defense in just a moment. You have Peter Mahone behind the plate as the catcher. Joe Scardino over at first base. Joe Carrazza, the second baseman. Dylan Ruff at shortstop. Will Morgan at third base from left to right. Nick Pedroli, Charlie Petruni, Connor Hellenbeck for the Hillers. First game for the Hillers since that epic championship win over Lincoln Sudbury and the Pedroli Classic. A swing and a miss for strike three, and that'll wrap up the top half of the first, but not before Marblehead plates a run. It's 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first on HCAM. Welcome back into the Hopkinton High School turf fields. We are ready for the bottom of the first. A 1-0 early Marblehead lead as the Hillers coming to the plate. Joe Carrazza, the second baseman, set to step in. Carrazza, certainly a menace on the base paths, has struggled a little bit at the plate, but I think the postseason would be a great time for him to get rid of all those struggles. He actually had a pretty good game against Lincoln Sudbury, so perhaps that was the beginning of an emergence of hitting from Carrazza. Hiller lineup, Joe Carrazza, the second baseman, starts things off. Charlie Petruni, the center fielder, batting second as that's fouled off. Mitch Simulus, the DH, hitting third. Charlie Simulus, the pitcher, hitting cleanup. Connor Hellenbeck, the right fielder, hitting fifth. Dylan Ruff, shortstop, hitting sixth. Joe Scardino, first baseman, hitting seventh. Will Morgan, third baseman, hitting eighth. Nick Pedroli, left fielder, hitting ninth. Windup and the pitch. Swing it and a miss. 1-2. On the mound is Drew Ottman for Marblehead as it's fouled away. Or excuse me, that is Drew Whitman for Marblehead on the mound. We'll get you the Marblehead defense in just a moment. 1-2 count. Wind up and the pitch. And that's behind him. 2-2. Battery mate for Drew Whitman is David Bartram behind the plate. Over at first base, Chris Canocio. At second base is Bodie Bartman as this is hit in the air. Left side, very deep, but caught by the left fielder for the out. Matt Mahan, one away. That ball was crushed by Carrazza, but these Marblehead outfielders have done their homework. They are playing deep. And now stepping in is going to be Charlie Petruni. Continuing with the Marblehead defense, Brooks Keefe at short. Over at third base is Riley Schmidt. And we'll get you left to right in just a moment. Wind up and the pitch. And that is in there for a strike. DH, Stephen Shepard. Left to right, Matt Mahan, Shane Keogh, and Charlie Sachs. Whitman set to deliver. And there's a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Marblehead led by head coach Michael Girardi. Wind up and the pitch. Hillers led by first-year head coach Matt Anderson. Over to the second baseman, throw to first. 4-3 for out number 2. That's going to bring up Mitch Simulus. It'll be interesting to see what kind of pitching Marblehead has available. It seems that they have a pretty good starter out there. They did have to play Somerville in the preliminary round, but they did have some time off since that. That game was back on June 1st, so last Thursday. So they've had about 3-4 days off as that's fouled away. Well, 3 days to be exact. 0-1 the count on Simulus. Wind up and the pitch. And this is hit up the right side. That'll trickle into right field. And it's a 2-out single for the DH. That'll bring up Charlie Simulus. Of course, the brother of Mitch Simulus. The Simuluses have been hitting the ball well all season long for the Hillers. Set to deliver. Slight lead over at first base. And the check-in, he slides back. Well, you got Charlie Simulus hitting a 381, Mitch Simulus hitting a 357 at the plate. 443 on base percentage for Charlie, 525 on base percentage for Mitch. Wind up and the pitch, and this is hit in the air, right side, foul out of play. The Hillers have been hitting the ball extremely well as of late. They did a whole lot of hitting on the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend over at Mahan Field in Natick in the Pajoli Championship game, a 21-19 game. That pitch going to get away, and the runner at first, Mitch Simulus, advances to second on the pass ball. 1-1 the count. So 2 outs, runner on second for the Hillers. Wind up and the pitch. And that gets away from the catcher. Mitch going to third, slides in safely. That one is a wild pitch, 2-1. Well, if there's one thing the Hillers do right, and they do a lot of things right, it's take advantage of situations on the base paths. Wind up and the pitch, and that is low and outside, 2-2. Wind up and the pitch, low, and the walk is drawn. So that's going to put runners on the corners for Connor Hellenbeck. Very dangerous hitter for the Hillers. Hellenbeck, a 397 batting average, 489 on base percentage. And I believe we got a pinch runner out there, or a courtesy runner as they call it, for the pitcher today, Charlie Simulus. We'll get you the name in just a moment. Time called. Out there pinch running, that is Jack and Tarrante over at first base. Check in, Jack slides back safely. Good crowd on hand for today's playoff action. They'll continue to filter in as this is hit in the air, right side foul out of play. Look out, cars. 0-1 the count. Hillers looking to do some damage here with 2 outs and tie this game up. A 1-0 Marblehead lead here in the bottom of the first. Checking at third, and the runner back, and he actually held on to the ball there. Well, you know, if he throws over to third, the runner at first is certainly going to take off for second base and likely get it. That's inside. 1-1 the count. Taking a little bit of time between pitches with 2 men on. Throw over to first. And Simulus slides back safely. I'm sure Mitch was thinking about taking off, and actually pinch runner for Simulus, and Tarrante slides back safely. He winds and deals, breaking pitch, inner corner, and a little too inside, says Mike Whalen, the umpire behind the plate today. The 2-1. Time called, late time. Oh! And the pitcher, it was a late time called, and the pitcher was in mid windup, and we certainly hope that Mike is okay. He does have that chest protector, fortunately. And he appears to be okay, which is certainly good news. That was a bit of a scary situation there. This is hit in the air, left side, and caught. So despite 2 reaching for the Hillers, no runs will score. And it's a 1-0 Marblehead lead as we head to the top of the second on HCAM. Top of the second inning, a 1-0 Marblehead lead. Stepping in is Chris Canosio, the right fielder, to face Charlie Simulus. There's a strike. Leg lift and the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Well, we got I believe this is the second baseball season with the state, or actually it's the third baseball season with the state format, as the spring was the first season when they came out with it 2-3 years ago to have the state system, as that pitch outside, 2-2. And you never know who you're going to get, especially in this very competitive Division II bracket. And really, I always say that seeding does not matter. Every team's tough, as that's fouled away just out of play. Fortunately for the Hillers, got under that ball. But every team certainly a threat, and the Hillers leaving 2 runners on last inning. They certainly would like to avoid doing that, as that pitch inside, full count. 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for Marblehead. That pitch outside, walk is drawn. That'll bring up Bodie Bartman, the second baseman. Runner on first, no outs. And that's fouled off. Over the parking lot, look out. Wow, that almost hit a car. Wind up and the pitch. And that's a ball, 1-1. To the set. Inside there, is trying to catch that corner, but could not. 2-1. Set to deliver, and that's fouled up the left side. 2-2. Simulus delivers just outside. Well, Charlie so far not as accurate as he normally is. But he's a pitcher that does tend to struggle early in the game and then kind of settle down a bit. And he's going to walk his second straight hitter. And we're going to get a chat on the mound from Coach Anderson. 2 on, no outs. Matt Mahan, the left fielder, coming to the plate as Coach Anderson will come out with some words of wisdom for Charlie Simulus. Try to settle him down a little bit. A lot of playoff action throughout the TVL today, and we're going to try to get you as many updates as we can throughout the broadcast. Hiller girls tennis was in action over in Westboro, and due to the time change of the game, we were unable to get over there, but we certainly wish them the best of luck, and hopefully we'll be able to catch them in the next round if they shall win today. Wind up and the pitch, and there's a bunt and caught by Simulus, and both runners will stay put. So it's 2 on now with 1 out. Brooks Keefe, the shortstop, stepping in, and Hillers do have some warm-up action in case Simulus shall run into any major problems. There's going to be a bit of a shorter leash in these postseason games. It's 1 loss elimination, so teams aren't going to mess around as that's outside. 1-0 the count. Set to deliver. Checking at second. Runner back safe. Wind up and the pitch. And this is hit up the left side. Takes a couple awkward hops. That's going to get through for a base hit and another Marblehead run. An RBI single for Brooks Keefe as Chris Canosio around to score. Up to second goes Bodie Bartman. And that'll bring up Drew Whitman, the pitcher. And here comes Coach Anderson. He's likely going to take the ball here. Or will he? It could just be another. All right, it's going to be another mound visit for now, but I believe the rule is if he comes back out, he'll have to take the ball if it's in this inning. Wind up and the pitch, and swing and a miss there. 0-1. Well, the Hillers going to have to get their bats working. Trailing 2-0. There's a strike. 0-2. Set to deliver. That is outside. Good stop behind the plate by Mahan. 1-2. Mahan has been terrific behind the plate. Has saved the Hillers from giving up a lot of runs, as he does again there. Another pitch outside. Throw to second. Runner back safe. Two and two the count. Coach Anderson really hoping that Simulus can at least get through this inning with no further damage. And that is outside. That's going to fill up the count. If he walks him, this very well could be the last hitter that you'll see Simulus face today. Wind up and the pitch, and this is up the right side, and I think that went off the first base bag. That's going to get through for a hit. Here comes another run. It's 3-0 Marblehead. An RBI single for Whitman. Bartman around to score. Keefe up to third. Stepping to the plate, top of the order, Riley Schmidt, the third baseman. Good piece of hitting there. And Marblehead off and running in this postseason. I think that's one of the flaws sometimes with having about a week off since your last game. It's actually been a little more than a week for the Hillers. It's been 9 days to be exact. So you come in a little ice cold, I think, in some occasions. Meanwhile, Marblehead just played last Thursday in a winner-go-home game, so they're in postseason mode. But the Hillers, who were red hot to end the regular season, then have to not play for 9 days, and that could certainly affect momentum a bit. But hopefully the Hillers will shake it off and get those bats going. That pitch outside, 2-0. Runners on first and third for Marblehead. Still only one out as they look to add more. There's a strike, 2-1. I believe that is Drew Riesenberger warming up for the Hillers. This is up the left side, foul. Just foul. Two and two the count. Simulist would really like to get the strikeout here. Three 0 Marblehead lead. Checking at first. Runner back safe. A lot of teams won't check in at first with a runner at third, but the Hillers, they have total confidence in their defenders around on the corners. That's just outside. And you know Scardino looked over at third to make sure it was good to throw back to the pitcher. And this is going to be hit up the left side, picked up by Ruff, and he won't have a play, and a run scores. Was a little indecisive where to go. Should have tried to make the play at second, but held on to it. That ends up being an RBI single for Schmidt, and it's now a 4-0 Marblehead lead. Runners on first and second. Stephen Shepard to the plate. There's a strike, 0-1. Hiller boys lacrosse also in action over in Longmeadow. We'll try to get you some updates from that game. I believe that's a 6 o'clock start. Swing in, a miss there. Time called. Wind up and the pitch. Hit in the air right side, and that is going to be caught. A good catch. And the runner will tag and advance to third. But what a great catch there by Connor Hellenbeck. And that certainly saved the runner too. So runners on the corners now. Whitman over at third, Schmidt at first. To the plate is Shane Keogh. Stoppage there. Not sure what that was about. There might have been a pinch runner. I I didn't see anyone come out. But we are ready to continue on. Inside. 1-0. Check in at first, and they pick the runner off. Runner from third, going to try to score. And the Hillers, they got the out. Did the run count? That came home, though. No, I think they got the out first. No, they are going to count that run. It's going on the scoreboard, and the Hillers uncharacteristically fell for that. They do get the fifth run across. So a job well done by Schmidt over at first base. That's the task. That's the mission when you do that. When you get pretty much intentionally picked off, you send that runner from third and try to score them before the tag is made, and Marblehead indeed did. Hillers typically don't fall for that, but they do in this case. We'll head to the bottom of the second on HCAM. Bottom of the second, set to continue on. Hillers find themselves in a 5-0 hole. Dylan Ruff steps in, takes that one inside. Well, I think so far a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes for the Hillers. Obviously, Charlie Simulus a little rough on the mound at times, as that is caught by the second baseman. Ruff lines out. Nice catch by Bodie Bartman. That'll bring up Joe Scardino, the first baseman. He winds and deals. This is up the right side. Rolls right to the second baseman. 4-3. 4 out, number 2. And here comes Will Morgan, the third baseman, to the plate. Well, Marblehead making some quick outs here, and if you're a Hillers fan, you don't really like the direction this game is going in right now. It's still very early, lots of time left, but certainly not what you expected. Swing and a miss. And this is right back to the pitcher. Throw to first, not a problem. 1, 2, 3, they go. To the top of the third we go. Marblehead 5, the Hillers nothing. And a winner go home round of 32 Division II game on HCAM. Top of the third inning, 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for Marblehead. Shane Keogh, Charlie Sachs, and Chris Canosio. Charlie Simulus back out there on the mound. I guess Coach Anderson going to see if he settles down. But you would hope that the leash is not very long if he runs into any more struggles. As that pitch outside. He's having all kinds of trouble finding the strike zone on a lot of occasions. And then he's just kind of leaving balls right over the plate. And he's getting hit pretty well here. 2-0 the count. Wind up and the pitch. And this is hit high in the air. Left side foul. But in these games, you can't be thinking about what you're going to do in the future game. You just have to do whatever it takes to try to come away with the win, because it's win or go home. Wind up and the pitch. Hit high in the air, left side, and foul. Ball had some good distance to it. 2-2. A lot of people have big expectations for the Hillers in this postseason, but a great start for Marblehead here. And that's what you got. That's the thing about the state format. It's unpredictable. The seeding just does not matter in these games. You have to treat a 30th seed like they're a first seed. Wind up and the pitch. That's fouled away. Count remains 2-2. And we'll take a look around the bracket a little later in the broadcast. That pitch is outside for a ball, 3-2. So Simulus's struggles continue. And if he gives up a walk here, I don't know if you leave him in there. This is hit in the air, left side, fouled away. Good battle here between Keogh and Simulus. Rough situation for the Hillers. You're trailing 5-0, and you got the middle of this Marblehead lineup. Wind up and the pitch. Outside. And it grabbed the outer corner. Nice pitch there by Simulus. One away. Gets Keogh looking. That'll bring up Charlie Sachs, the right fielder. Well-needed strikeout there. I think that really helps the mentality of Simulus. There's a strike. I mean, as I did say, Simulus is a guy that tends to struggle in the early innings, but then settles down. That pitch looks like it slipped out of his hand there, 1-1. Charlie Sachs struck out in his only plate appearance. That pitch is wild, 2-1. Well, it's looking like those finding the strike zone issues are starting to pop up again. Wind up and the pitch. And this is up the middle. Glove by the shortstop. Throw over by Ruff. 6-3. 4 out, number 2. And the Hillers certainly could use a 1-2-3 inning here. Wind up and the pitch. And that's ball 1, a little low. Outside. 2-0. And a little outside there, 3-0. You got 2 outs in the inning. We'll really get to see what the leash is here if he walks them. There's a strike, 3-1. You know, if Simulus has a 1-2-3 inning here, the hope is he settles down and can last you 4 or 5 innings, but he'll give up the walk. 2-out walk. Bodie Bartman to the plate, second baseman. The winner of this game will go on to play the winner of Dartmouth and Westfield. If the Hillers advance, they would be the host team as they're the highest seed, the 4th seed. Marblehead would be on the road either way. Time called. Late timeout granted. 2-0 the count. Yeah, we're going to get a talk out there on the hill. And it looks like he's leaving him out there for now. Some words of confidence from Coach Anderson. There's a strike, 2-1. I think he was just trying to settle him down a little bit. Two and two the count. Simulus looking to battle back. Oh, that almost hit him. That'll fill up the count. And there's strike three. Good job by Simulus battling back. So no further harm done as the Hillers give up no runs, no hits in the top of the third. It is 5-0 Marblehead as we move along to the bottom of the third on HCAM. Welcome back into the bottom of the third. Apologies, folks. The live stream cut out for a moment. Hopefully that won't be an ongoing issue. Stepping in for the Hillers, Nick Pedroli, 9-1-2 due up. Hillers have some work to do as they trail 5-0. Charlie Simulus did a good job getting through that third inning. And I think that little pep talk with Coach Anderson really calmed him down. And this is hit up the middle. That's going to trickle into center field for a base hit. Nice leadoff hit for Pedroli. That'll bring up Joe Carrazza. Well, that's the thing that's good about this Hillers lineup is it's just dangerous throughout. Even at the bottom of the lineup, typically you'll have a weaker bottom of the lineup. Not in the case of the Hillers. Carrazza flew out in his only plate appearance. Checking at first, runner back. Welcome back into the bottom of the third. Apologies, folks. The live stream cut out for a moment. Time called. Yeah, that's the thing a hitter will do to try to get inside the pitcher's head a little bit and throw off his rhythm is have that late time call. And both teams kind of using that tactic here today. Checking at first. Runner slides back safe. And time called here. Pedroli taking a lead over at first. Leg lift and the pitch. Hit high in the air. Foul out of play. Oh, that did not sound good. And more people starting to filter in for this postseason game. Checking at first. Runner back safe. This Marblehead team, they've been battle tested. They've had some tough opponents throughout the season. Wind up and the pitch, and this is a slow roller up the left side, picked up by the shortstop, throw to first, and they got him, but Petroli does move up to second. 6-3 for the first out. Charlie Petruni to step in. Petruni grounded out in his only plate appearance. Wind up and the pitch. Breaking pitch. And it's in there for a strike. And time called. Pitcher taking a little too long for the comfort of Petruni. Petruni hitting a .304 on the season and gets a piece of this one. Pulled down by the pitcher, throw to first, and they get the out. A 1-3 out. Petroli moves up to third base. Mitch Simulus to the plate. Mitch Simulus, 357 on the season, 525 on base percentage, 12 RBIs, and the Hillers would really like him to add an RBI here. Breaking pitch, a little high there, 1-0. Hillers as a team have a .306 batting average, one of the best batting averages in the state. This gets away from the catcher. Petroli slides in, he's safe. So Nick Petroli scores on the wild pitch, and boy, did the Hillers need that. A 5-1 game. Well, let's not forget, you certainly can't count this Hillers team out. That is one thing we've learned over the past couple of weeks. On their senior night game, they were trailing 6-0 versus Westwood. And I believe it was late into the fourth, and they came all the way back and won that game in walk-off fashion, 7-6. And they had a similar type of win in the first round of the Petroli tournament against Franklin, as they took down the top-seeded Franklin Panthers, as that's fouled off. And they did it in the eighth inning, and they were trailing big early on in that one. So this Hiller team certainly is capable of fighting and clawing their way back. The 2-2 pitch. Outside. Full count. Bases are clear for the Hillers. 2 outs. They have scored a run, a 5-1 game. Wind up and the pitch. And this is up the middle. Takes a couple hops. Throw to first, and they got him. 1-3 for out number 3, but the Hillers played a run. It is a 5-1 Marblehead lead as we head to the top of the fourth on HCAM. Top of the fourth inning, A 5-1 Marblehead lead. Matt Mahan stepping in, the left fielder. Swing and a miss. Charlie Simulus is back out there. And the hope is that he's settled down. It's now an 0-2 count. That pitch outside, 1-2. Time called. That pitch just misses for a ball, 2-2. That's outside. Oh no, they got him. Nice pitch there for the strikeout, one away. Fourth strikeout of the game for Simulus. Keefe stepping in. And he gets a piece of this one, right side, ranging over, and making the catch is Connor Hellenbeck for the out. 2 away. Stepping in, the pitcher, Drew Whitman. And this is up the middle, glove by Ruff. Nice throw to first. 6-3, 4 out, number 3. 1-2-3, they go to the bottom of the fourth. We go a 5-1 Marblehead lead on H-Camp. Bottom of the fourth inning. Middle of the order due up for the Hillers as they trail 5-1. Charlie Simulus, Connor Hellenbeck, Dylan Ruff. Be a good time for the Hillers to get a rally going here. Wind up and the pitch, and this is hit up the middle. Into center field it goes, and it's a leadoff single for Simulus. I guess they heard me. That'll bring up Connor Hellenbeck. We got a courtesy runner out there. I believe it's going to be Interante back out. Wind up and the pitch, and that hit him. 2 on for the Hillers, no outs. And we're able to track down the Marblehead stats. Drew Whitman, a senior out there on the hill, has pitched well so far, but starting to struggle a bit in this inning. 4 wins, 2 losses on the season. A 3.72 ERA. And you wonder if Marblehead will get some warm-up action going soon. If the Hillers shall rally here. Wind up and the pitch, and this is fouled off. Marblehead beats Somerville in the preliminary round last Thursday, 13-11. Impressive win to advance on. 2 on, no outs for the Hillers. Wind up and the pitch, down low. 1-1 the count. Marblehead is a team that racked up a lot of wins in the second half of the season, kind of struggled throughout the first half. Swing and a miss, 1-2. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. And the Hillers, kind of the same story. They started off a little rough as well in the first half, and then got their act together for the second half, and a big lead was taken there by Interite, and the pitcher gets him back. The Hillers have won their last 4 and 5 of their last 6 as well. That pitch inside. 2-2. Wind up and the pitch. Strike 3, got him looking. Grabs the outer corner, 1 away. Joe Scardino to the plate. Wind up and the pitch. And that grabs the inner corner for strike 1, 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Well, Whitman trying to work through a jam. It used to be 2 on with no outs. Then it was 2 on with 1 out after Ruff struck out, and he's looking for another strikeout here. And that's outside. Good stop behind the plate by Bartman. 1-2. Joe Scardino missed some of the season. He's played in 12 games. .312 batting average, .439 on base percentage. I believe he was dealing with some injuries, and hopefully no injury there as he takes one off the shoulder. Bases loaded, 1 out. Simulus up to third, or rather the courtesy runner in Terente. Hallenbeck to second, Scardino to first. Will Morgan, the third baseman, to the plate. And we're going to get a mound visit here, and it looks like maybe doesn't look like he took the ball yet, so for now just a mound visit from Coach Girardi. The Hillers, if they should come back and win here, would host once again, and if they win that game, they would actually host again after that, since they are the top-seeded team in their section of the bracket. But they need to come back here first as they trail 5-1. Wind up and the pitch. Inside for a ball, 1-0. We have an update from Hiller Girls Tennis. They were over in Westboro, and unfortunately their season has come to an end as they fall 5-0 against a very good Westboro team. The Hiller Girls Tennis team had a terrific season, and we congratulate them on their many accomplishments. A lot of the matches against Westboro today were pretty close, I've been told. Wind up and the pitch. And this is up the left side, foul. 2-1 on Morgan. Will Morgan has been good with the bat, especially as of late. 400 batting average, 526 on base percentage. Has 3 RBIs, 7 runs to his credit. Takes that one outside. 3-1 the count. A walk here would score a run. Nowhere to put him. Inside, walk is drawn. Here comes a Hiller run. Jack and Tarrante around to score. Connor Hellenbeck up to third. Scardino to second. Morgan to first. Nick Pedroli to the plate. And it looks like for now they're going to hang with Drew Whitman out there, but they are going to get warm-up action going. 5-2 game now. This is hit high in the air, left side, and caught by the shortstop. A big out there for Marblehead. 2 away, and that'll bring up top of the order. Joe Carrazza stepping in. Joe Carrazza 0 for 2 today. .246 batting average on the season, .380 on base percentage, but does tend to draw a lot of walks. The 0-1 outside, 1-1. Wind up and the pitch. And a little high there, 2-1. Carrazza does have a good eye at the plate. Doesn't strike out all too often. Wind up and the pitch. Gets a good piece of this one, but it is a high fly ball over to right field and caught. For the third out, the Hillers load them up. They get a run. It's 5-2 as we head to the top of the 5th on HCAM. A 5-2 Marblehead lead as we head to the top of the 5th. Top of the order for Marblehead. Is Riley Schmidt, the third baseman, stepping in. He is 1 for 2 today, had an RBI single as part of the 4-run second inning for Marblehead. Takes a strike there. There's Simulus back out there on the hill. And this is going to be hit and take an awkward bounce into center field. It goes. Leadoff single for Schmidt. Coach Anderson looks to be making the slow walk to the mound. And I think he's checking on Dylan Ruff. Make sure he's okay. I believe the ball went right off of him into center field. Sometimes it's tough to see where the balls hit from our angle. But we've been told that people are really enjoying it. So we like to keep the people happy. And we have some discussion out here. Looks like we have a pinch runner. I believe that is... okay, no pinch runner. Wind up and the pitch. Little outside. 1-0 the count. Stephen Shepard at the plate, checking at first. Runner slides back safe. Stephen Shepard has hit the ball very well for Marblehead this season. A .455 batting average, .571 on base percentage. That's a ball. Marblehead as a team, .319 batting average. They've hit the ball very well, known to produce a lot of runs. Up the right side and bobbled by Carrazza. Picks it up, throws over. Not in time. Everyone's safe. Well, not what you want there. That took a very tricky hop for Carrazza to make the play on. Still almost was able to make the play, but some good speed up the line by Shepard. That's going to bring up Shane Keogh, another great hitter. .517 batting average, .639 on base percentage. And before he comes to the plate, we're going to get a pitching change. 2 on for Marblehead here in the fifth. No outs. Pitching change for the Hillers. And it'll be Drew Riesenberger taking over as he will look to try to get the Hillers out of this jam. As it is a 5-2 game, we'll step aside on HCAM. Welcome back in. A new pitcher for the Hillers. It's actually Jack Arthur out there taking over for Charlie Simulus. And Arthur is someone that we haven't seen so much this season. He's pitched only 8 1/3 of an inning and has a .84 ERA. So we'll get a look at Jack Arthur. As stepping in is Shane Keogh, dangerous hitter for Marblehead. 2 on, no outs. Outside, 1-0. And the Hillers do have more warm-up action. They got Franco Pedisano warming up. The leash from here on out, I'd imagine, is going to be pretty short with anybody in this winner go-home situation. That's outside. 2-0. I believe Arthur's known for his velocity, but struggles with control sometimes. But is certainly coming into a tough situation here with 2 on and no outs. And this is hit in the air, fouled away, 2-1. It looks like you're going to get a lot of fastballs from Arthur. Two-one pitch. And this is hit in the air, foul. Marblehead would certainly love to add some security here. If you're the Hillers, you almost need to prevent that. You can't let this Marblehead lead get out of hand. That pitch down low, full count. Working from the stretch. He winds and deals, and there's ball 4. He walked him. That'll load up the bases for Marblehead, and this is quite a dangerous situation for the Hillers. Cleanup hitter coming up, Charlie Sachs. Charlie Sachs, 354 batting average, 508 on base percentage, 4 doubles to his credit. There's a strike. 0-1. And a nice pitch there. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Winds and deals. Gets away from the catcher. Runners will stay put. That pitch had a lot of movement on it. 1-2, and Peter Mahan will give him a talking to. There might have been a miscommunication there amongst the battery mates. The pitch was close to the strike zone, wasn't all that outside. And that one outside, 2-2. Marblehead bench making some noise. Leg lift and the pitch. Swing and a miss. A big strikeout there. One away. That'll bring up Chris Canocio, the first baseman. Chris Canocio, another pretty big threat. 222 on average, 443 on base percentage. Certainly not as big as the middle part of the order, but does have 4 doubles to his credit. So when he does get a hold of one, he can put it a long way. Also 18 RBIs on the season for Canocio. That pitch outside, he's come up big with runners on base. The 1-1. Fouled into the backstop, 1-2. Jack Arthur, a lefty. Not too many of those on the Hiller pitching staff. Hit high in the air, left side. Dylan Ruff ranges over, makes the catch. Big out there, 2 away. Hiller's looking to get out of a bases-loaded jam. Bodie Bartman, the second baseman, stepping in. There's a strike, grabs the outer corner, nice pitch. Bodie Bartram, a 397 batting average, 478 on base percentage, 17 doubles, 21 RBIs. Gets a piece of this one up the right side, into right field it goes, and a run is in. A big time hit there for Bartram, an RBI single. It's a 6-2 Marblehead lead. Bases remain loaded. Matt Mahan coming to the plate. And Mahan gets a piece of this one. Slow roller left side and foul. Mahan, a .250 hitter, .478 on base percentage. 4 RBIs, 6 runs on the season. Arthur working from the stretch. Swing and a miss. You see Jack Arthur in some of the setup situations or closing role, but they put him in a little earlier here just to try to get through this jam. And this is hit in the air, into left center it goes. 1 run is in, here comes another, and it's a 2 RBI single. A huge hit for Matt Mahan as Stephen Shepard and Shane Keogh come around. Runners on first and second with Brooks Keefe coming to the plate, an 8-2 Marblehead lead. I think after this inning, you'll certainly see Opetisano get in there as this is hit high in the air, right field, caught. And the Hillers get the third out, but the damage has been done. 3 more runs for Marblehead. They have an 8-2 lead heading to the bottom of the 5th of this winner-go-home game on HCAM. Bottom of the 5th inning, Charlie Petruni set to step in. Hillers need to get the bats going as they are down to their final 9 outs, and they trail 8-2. Drew Whitman still on the hill for Marblehead. He has pitched a very good game against a potent Hiller lineup. As this is up the right side, great play by the first baseman, Canosio, as he's able to dive and corral that one in, run over and tag the bag for out number 1. Mitch Simulus set to step in. Mitch Simulus 1 for 2 on the day. And he tears into this one left side, but foul. Got a good piece of that one. You would have liked it a little more to the right. Wind up and the pitch. Breaking pitch, a little high. 1-1. No warm-up action at the moment for Marblehead. Wind up and the pitch. Up high and inside. 2-1. Two-one pitch. That is outside. 3-1. A lot of playoff action throughout the state today. As there's a walk drawn by Mitch Simulus. It's pretty much the round of 32 for every spring sport today, as Charlie Simulus set to step in. You had some of them over the weekend, but a whole lot of action today. Medfield had their round of 32 game in Division III bracket, and we're going to have a hit batter here. Charlie Simulus hit with a pitch. 2 on with 1 out. And Medfield advances on as they got a 9-0 win over Belchertown. And it looks like we're going to get a mound visit here, and will we see a pitching change is the big question. It looks like for now just a mound conference. But the Hillers looking to get something going here. You got Connor Hallenbeck coming up and Dylan Ruff. So a pretty dangerous part of the order for the Hillers. 1 out in the inning, 2 runners on. Franco Pedisano resuming warming up for the Hillers. You'll likely see him next inning. And time called. Now, these pitchers are lucky. There's no pitch clock at this level yet. They're taking their sweet time between some of these pitches, especially with men on. And this is up the left side, and that is going to get through for a hit. Everyone's going to be safe, and the bases are loaded. A single for Hallenbeck. Simulus up to third. Charlie Simulus to second. Hallenbeck to first. Dylan Ruff to the plate. Whitman set to deliver. Hit high in the air and foul out of play. Behind the backstop it goes. The 0-1 pitch. Outside. Good stop behind the plate by Bartman. 1-1. That saved the run. And this is hit high in the air, over towards left center, and caught. Runner from third is going to tag. The throw in off the mark. And Dylan Ruff gets the job done, driving in a run. Mitch Simulus around to score. Pinch runner for Charlie Simulus up to third. Or actually, no, excuse me, he stays at second. And Connor Hallenbeck over at first. The runner behind him did not advance, rightfully so. Joe Scardino to the plate. There's a strike. And the pinch runner, by the way, is Davis Pishoff. He came in the game earlier to pinch run, or a courtesy runner for Charlie Simulus. Hillers could really use a hit here. Outside. Or a walk will do as well. 2-0. Wind up and the pitch. Inside. Look out. 3-0. Whitman could be pitching pretty casually in this situation. Loading up the bases isn't the worst case scenario since you'll have a play at every bag. Wind up and the pitch. And that's a strike. 3-1. Wind up and the pitch, and this is fouled off. Full count now as Whitman battles back. Crucial pitch coming up. Hit in the air, right side, in foul territory, and out of the reach of everybody. Joe Scardino is 0 for 1 so far today, was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. Hillers loaded the bases that inning, and were only able to come up with a run. They had the bases loaded with no outs at one point. Wind up and the pitch. Fouled off. Good battle here between Joe Scardino and Drew Whitman. And the pitcher turns towards second. Quite a lead for Pishoff. And that pitch is outside. The walk is drawn. Bases loaded for the Hillers. There is 2 outs in the inning, however. Will Morgan stepping to the plate, and we're getting another mound visit. And will there be a pitching change is the question. And it looks like there will indeed be a pitching change. Well, you got to give Drew Whitman credit. He pitched a marvelous game against a good lineup for Marblehead. But they're going to pull him after 4 2/3 of an inning pitched. And we'll have a reliever. The Hillers have the bases loaded with 2 outs. They need some runs as they trail 8-3 on HCAM. Welcome back into the Hopkinton High School turf fields. Chris Canusio, the new pitcher for Marblehead, as he is set to face Will Morgan. Bases loaded, 2 outs for the Hillers. So he moves over from first base. Jacob Skoglund takes over at first base for Marblehead. And we'll get you some stats in just a moment. Canusio on the hill has pitched 24 2/3 of an inning. 1-2 record. And a 2.27 ERA. So you certainly have a pretty reliable pitcher if you're Marblehead. But Will Morgan looking for a huge hit here. Hillers trailing 8-3. And it's inside. 1-0 count. And that's Lenny Ontken at the plate. So they actually pinched hit for Will Morgan. Lenny Ontken, the lefty, is in there. Wind up and the pitch to Ontken. Outside, 2-0. That's a good way to kind of throw off the new pitcher a little bit. Stick a lefty in there unexpectedly. We'll see if it works. Wind up and the pitch. And it's low, 3-0. A walk here would score a run. Bases loaded for the Hillers. If you're Onken, you are not swinging here. There's a strike. Now, if I'm Onken, I still don't swing here with the 3-1 count. He does, and it's up the left side. Glove by the third baseman, and they get the out. A 5 unassisted force out will wrap up the 5th inning, and the Hillers trail 8-3 as we head to the top of the 6th on HCAM. New pitcher for the Hillers, Franco Pedisano, takes over. Third pitcher of the game for Hopkinton. As Drew Whitman set to step in. And we'll see if it is indeed Whitman still hitting in that spot. That's fouled off. I actually believe that is 44. So this is Jacob Skoglund hitting, who took over at first base. One and one count. And this is hit in the air, left side, could be trouble, drops in front of Pedroli, and Skoglund's aboard with a leadoff single. Top of the order now for Marblehead with a man on. Riley Schmidt will step in. He's having a good day at the plate. He has singled and scored a run, reached on an error, which drove in a run and flown out. Congratulations to the Ashland Clockers baseball team. They got a win today. Checking at first, runner slides back safe. They had a nice pitching appearance by Chris Bradica to advance on in the Division III bracket. They took down Worcester Technical School today. Final of 6-1 as that pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Well, the important thing here for the Hillers is don't give up any runs. You have enough of a deficit you have to try to come back from. And Pedisano certainly has been reliable for the Hillers. He's pitched 31 1/3 of an inning on the season, has a 2.68 ERA. And this is hit high in the air, right side, and caught for the out. Runner at first stays put. Nicely done by Hellenbeck. One away, Stephen Shepard stepping to the plate. He has doubled, flown out, and reached on an error as part of the 3-run 5th inning. Wind up and the pitch. Outside. One and 0. And that's fouled into the backstop. 1-1. Top of the 6th inning, Marblehead leading 8-3 here in this round of 32 Division II playoff game. That pitch up high, runner from first, taking off, throw to second, and they don't get him. Just beats the throw. The Marblehead Magicians trying to work some magic here and give the Hillers an unexpected early exit from the playoffs. But we have 2 innings to go as there's a strike. Wind up and the pitch. And there's strike 3. Second out of the inning, Shane Keogh stepping to the plate. It was a big strikeout there by Apettisano. There's a ball, 1-0. Wind up and the pitch. That's outside. 2-0. Runner on second, 2 outs. Keogh has a sacrifice RBI, has struck out and walked so far today. Outside once again, 3-0. Pitchers on both sides having a little trouble with the lefties today. There's a strike, 3-1. No warm-up action as of right now for the Hillers. I think they plan on leaving Apettisano out there to try to finish this game. Hit in the air, left side, and foul out of play. That'll fill up the count. Wind up and the pitch. And that's strike 3. Grabs the outer corner, much to the dismay of Shane Keogh. And the Hillers get out of the inning. To the bottom of the 6th we go. We'll see if the Hiller bats can get to work. Marblehead leading 8-3 on HCAM. Bottom of the 6th inning, Chris Canusio out there for his 2nd inning of work since coming in for Drew Whitman on the mound. An 8-3 Marblehead lead. 9-1 and 2 due up for the Hillers. Nick Pedroli, Joe Carrazza, and Charlie Petruni. Another TVL playoff update. Norwood defeated West Springfield in the Division II bracket. 2-0 to advance on. Congratulations to our friends in Norwood. A pitch outside, 1-0. It was a good job by Apettisano getting out of last inning after a runner reached scoring position, as this is hit in the air, caught by the ranging center fielder Shane Keogh. 1 away. That's going to bring up Joe Carrazza, who they could really use a hit from. He's 0 for 3 so far on the day. He's a guy you just really want on the base paths. He can cause mayhem when he's on the base paths. Wind up and the pitch outside. 1-0. He winds and deals, swing and a miss. 1-1. Well, the Hillers, they're used to getting some big rallies going, and so far they have not been able to do that today. Good eye there, 2-1. Wind up and the pitch. Down low. 3-1. Well, Canusio was used in 2 2/3 of an inning in the win against Somerville for Marblehead in the preliminary round. So he may have some restrictions on his pitch count. There's a swing and a miss. Full count. I think Carrazza probably wishes he held on that pitch. Looked a little low. And he gets the strikeout, gets away from the catcher. Carrazza taking off, and he reaches first. Carrazza reaches on the what'll go down as an error after the strikeout, so there'll only be one out. Charlie Petruni to the plate. That was huge for the Hillers. And Carrazza absolutely flying up the line. He's got to be one of the fastest base runners in the TVL. Maybe the state. Petruni 0 for 3 so far today. You'd like to change that. And he fouls that one off. 0-1 the count. Wind up and the pitch. Gets a good piece of this one. That'll drop into right field. Carrazza will hold up at second. And, oh, he nearly got tagged out there. Because that was a really good throw in. But in any case, a nice single for Petruni. And it's 2 on, 1 out. Mitch Simulus to the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Has scored a run as well. Wind up and the pitch. Outside, and Carrazza steals third. Well, if you're going to send anyone to third base, it's going to be Joe Carrazza. And Marblehead, I don't even think we're paying much attention to him. So it's now runners on the corners. Checking at first. Runner slides back safe. That's also risky with Carrasa thrown over to first base. And that's high, gets away from the catcher. Here comes Carrasa. He scores with ease. And Petruni will hold up at second. Took a big turn towards third base. But Carrasa, he scored before the catcher could even get to the ball on the wild pitch. It's an 8-2-4 game. Runner on second for the Hillers. And the check-in, that was close. You need to be careful on the base paths. That is the last thing you want if you're the Hillers, to get caught off guard. Petruni going to take a lead once again, trying to get inside the head of Canusio. Swing and a miss. Can the Hillers have another amazing come-from-behind victory, as they have done twice in the last couple of weeks? We shall find out. Outside, good stop behind the plate by Bartman. 2-2 the count. On deck is Charlie Simulus. Oh, look out inside. 3-2. Hit in the air, right side, foul into the parking lot. Look out, cars. And I don't think it hit one that time, which is fortunate. One less insurance call someone will have to make. Wind up and the pitch. Hit in the air towards center field, and it's a sky-high fly ball caught by the second baseman. Big out for Marblehead. 2 away. Charlie Simulus stepping to the plate. Well, you got to give credit to Chris Canusio for battling back there off the 3-1 count. Threw a couple strikes and gets the out. And this is up the left side, foul. Oh, and 1 the count. Outside, another great stop behind the plate by Bartman. Or Bartram, excuse me. You have David Bartram and Bodie Bartram, brothers on the Marblehead team. Swing and a miss. What a pitch that was. 1-2. Inside heat. Oh, and this is trickled up the left side, foul. Surprised he swung at that one. That pitch was a little low. Hillers have done very well at the plate this season, not swinging for a lot of pitches out of the zone. He holds up there, gets away from the catcher, and advancing to third is Petruni. Petruni up to third on the wild pitch. A hit here will score another run. But you need a hit as there is 2 outs. Swing and a miss. A huge strikeout for Canusio. The Hillers plate 1. It's an 8-4 game as we head to the top of the 7th on HCAM. Top of the 7th inning. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Marblehead. Charlie Sachs, Chris Canusio, and Bodie Bartram. Marblehead would love to add some security here, but Opedisano's mission is to keep this a 4-run game. Outside. Well, this could perhaps be the last inning of Hiller baseball for the season if they're unable to rally in the bottom of the 7th. That pitch down low, 2-0. I think what's important here for Opedisano, just stay focused on the mission. Get the outs, and hopefully the Hillers can get the bats going. 3-0 count. There's a strike. 3-1. See if Opedisano can battle back here. And the walk is drawn. You absolutely do not want to give up any more runs in this inning if you want any hope of getting back into this. Canusio stepping in. Certainly wish the very best of luck to Hiller Boys Lacrosse, who's in action over in Longmeadow. We're going to try to get you an update for that game. A 1-0 count now. Opedisano having a little trouble finding the strike zone. Hit in the air, left side, foul out of play. 1-1. And this is up the right side, glove by the first baseman, throw to second. They'll get the out at second. That was a very risky play by the first baseman, Charlie Simulus, but it did indeed work. So that's a 3-6 out at second base. 3-6 fielder's choice as Bodie Bartram steps in. There's a strike. Well, it's very good. You keep a runner at a scoring position, but it certainly could have backfired. But that was a great throw by Simulus. You almost have to have a perfect throw to get that out. There's a strike. 0-2. Wind up and the pitch. And this is up the right side. Into right field it goes. Lead runner stopped at second. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Matt Mahan stepping to the plate. Don't forget to stay tuned to our website, hcam.tv, for all the Hopkinton Hillers playoff updates. We'll certainly be updating our playoff page tonight. And hopefully we'll update it with a miracle Hillers win, but they'll have a lot of work to do in the bottom of the 7th. And they need to hold Marblehead here. There's a strike. 0-1 the count. Long look at second from Apettisano. He deals. And this is going to take a couple hops up the infield. Throw over by Ruff. And they got the out at first. But both runners move up into scoring position. There is 2 outs, however. And that was a really nice throw over by Ruff. A 6-3 ground out for Mahan. Brooks Keefe stepping in. Wind up and the pitch. Up the left side, glove by the third baseman. Throw over by Scardino. They get the third out and keep Marblehead at a 4-run advantage. The Hillers will be down to their final 3 outs. They need to get the bats going as they trail it 8-4 on HCAM. Bottom of the 7th inning, Hillers trail 8-4 down to their final 3 outs. 5, 6, and 7 due up. Connor Hellenbeck, Dylan Ruff, Joe Scardino to face Chris Canuccio, who's out there to try to close it out. And the first pitch is behind the hitter, 1-0. Seen a lot of wild pitches by both sides today, but they don't make it frequent. And this is ripped up the left side, foul. A home run swing there by Hellenbeck. Wind up and the pitch. Outside. 2-1 the count. Now, if you're the Hillers, you're going to be very selective over what you swing for. Hit in the air, right side, and it is caught by the second baseman. It was nearly dropped. 1 away. Dylan Ruff to the plate. And that's tipped foul. 0-1. Fouled off. 0-2. Well, the winner of this game will take on the winner of Dartmouth and Westfield in the round of 16. And Marblehead trying to pull off the upset here and advance on. Wind up and the pitch outside. Well, you got to give credit to this Marblehead pitching. It's been fantastic. 1-2 pitch. Down low. 2-2. On deck is Joe Scardino. And this is going to be hit up the middle. Little trickler throw to first. And they get the out. A 1-3 out. Ruff nearly beat it out, but not quite enough speed up the line. And the Hillers down to their final out. Joe Scardino is the last hope here to keep this game going. And he puts this one in the air, right side, and it is caught. And Marblehead pulls off the upset win over the Hopkinton Hillers. Congratulations to the Magicians of Marblehead as they work their magic here today and put an end to an incredible Hopkinton Hillers season as they get the victory 8-4 to move on to the round of 16. The Hillers certainly expected to go a bit further this postseason, but anything can happen here in these state tournament games, and especially in this bracket, a very talented bracket, and a lot of tremendous teams. But the Hopkinton Hillers season comes to an end at 14 wins and 7 losses. They have been absolutely fantastic to follow. First-year head coach Matt Anderson did a tremendous job with this team. They've come certainly a long way after struggling early on in the season. They were able to put it together and rack up some tremendous wins, but a disappointing ending here today for the Hopkinton Hillers, but they should certainly be proud of all that they accomplished throughout the season. Well, this could be our last spring playoff broadcast. So with that in mind, we want to thank all of our viewers out there for supporting us all season long. A big thank you to everybody on the HCAM team, Mike DeRosian, Ashley Simmons, Matt Clark, Jim Cousins, and a huge thank you to our volunteers, John Ritz, Joe Frackleton, Gene Comiskey, Denise Suntaki. Without any of the people I just mentioned, bringing you these games would not be possible. And they certainly worked very hard all season long to make sure we were able to bring you these broadcasts. But the final score for the final time, unfortunately for the Hillers, is Marblehead 8, the Hopkinton Hillers 4. The season comes to an end here this evening, and that will put a wrap on a very fun year to follow. But for John Ritz on camera, I'm Tom Nappy. We thank you for watching. Take care, be well, and we'll talk to you again in the very near future. Goodbye, everybody.